Welcome back to News Hub. For today's video, we're going to have a look at the shocking request from people on death row. Today, two of the most elderly inmates currently on death row are scheduled to be executed, and one of them has made a request for a very uncomplicated meal to be served during their final hours. Two of the males that are now being held in custody are named Oscar Franklin Smith, who is 72 years old, and Carl Wayne Bunchen, who is 78 years old. Smith, who has had several of his appeals rejected, continues to maintain his innocence despite the fact that he is due to be executed today by lethal injection, April 21. In 1989, it was alleged that Smith murdered his ex-wife Judith and her two sons in Nashville by stabbing and shooting them. It is said that Smith utilized the $20 budget that was allotted to death row inmates in order to arrange a very low-key farewell meal. His meal reportedly consisted of a double bacon cheeseburger, deep dish apple pie, and vanilla bean ice cream as reported by Metro. In addition, Carl Wayne Bunchen was judged responsible for the death of James Irby, a police officer, in a trial that took place in Houston in the year 1990. Irby had pulled over a car and was speaking to the driver when Bunchen, who had apparently been sitting in the passenger seat, got out, went around, and shot him 3 times, once in the head and twice in the back. The inmate's counsel stated in an appeal that was filed in October 2021 that Mr. Bunchen is a feeble, aged man who requires specialized care to accomplish basic duties. He does not present a threat to the safety of the other detainees, and this will not change even if his term is reduced. On his disciplinary record, it says he has been cited for only 3 disciplinary offenses during his 31 years confined under a sentence of death, and he has not been cited for any infraction whatsoever for the previous 23 years. This means that he has only been in violation of the rules 3 times in his entire time behind bars serving a death sentence. The attempts made by Bunchen's legal team to halt the execution were turned down by a federal court on Friday, April 15. It meant that the man, who is crippled and had a lengthy list of diseases including hepatitis C, cirrhosis, and chronic liver disease, would be put to death by injection. Anti-death penalty groups have staged many demonstrations in opposition to the verdict in recent days. Irby's family, on the other hand, did not respond in the same manner to the news. Irby's wife, Maura, spoke to KPRC2 as follows: "It's been 30 years. This is something that we have been anticipating for some time now. If only James could be here with us right now to share this moment with us, he would. The conclusion of the inquiry into the death of my spouse seems like something of a release. Put it away, we won't be using it any longer." Additionally, this is the day that the executions of Smith and Bunchen are set to take place. The provision of a Last Supper to those on death row in Texas, however, was discontinued as a direct result of the actions of one individual. Because of an instance in which a death row inmate requested a massive final supper but then refused to eat it because he claimed he wasn't hungry. The state of Texas in the United States no longer serves individualized final meals to death row convicts before they are executed. The idea of having a final dinner is one of the most exciting and horrifying features of the American judicial system as a whole. Imagine you're at the very end of your life, and you are deciding what to eat for the very last time. You are in a restaurant. I am completely at a loss for words and don't even know where to start. To begin, it's important to note that you may safely reject the overwhelming bulk of what's been said. It is a well-known fact that they frequently cannot access the food that the vast majority of people seek or do not intend to receive, which forces them to either find an alternative or allow themselves to go hungry. This eliminates bluefin tuna and foie gras from the dining options, in addition to steaks cut to order. Unfortunately, in the state of Texas, you are entitled to 0 benefits of any kind. The exact same food is served to everyone else who is detained at the facility. There is no one else to blame but Lawrence Russell Brewer for the imposition of the death penalty on these inmates. White supremacist Brewer was sentenced to jail together with 3 other men for the murder of James Beard Jr., who they killed by dragging him behind a pickup truck for 3 miles before they ran him over with the vehicle. Brewer was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Brewer and his accomplice John King were the first white individuals to be executed in modern Texas for the murder of a black man. As a result of their actions, the state was compelled to enact new laws protecting victims of hate crimes. Brewer was also the first white individual to be executed in Texas for the murder of a woman. Another participant in the conspiracy, Sean Berry, was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison for his role in the crime. Just a few seconds before he was put to death, Brewer was given the opportunity to specify what he would like to eat for his farewell meal, and he chose a lavish array. According to the Houston Chronicle, Brewer placed an order for a cheese omelette with ground beef, jalapenos, and bell peppers, as well as a serving of fried okra with ketchup. In addition, he asked for the following: a triple meat bacon cheeseburger, 3 fajitas, 1 pound of barbecue, and a half loaf of white bread, a pizza meat lover special, a pint of homemade vanilla bluebell ice cream, a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, and 3 root beers. Even when the supper, or something quite similar to it, was ultimately given to him, he still refused to eat any of it. As a direct consequence of this decision, Texas Senator John Whitmire no longer gives inmates on death row the option of choosing what they would eat for their last meal. The prisoners on death row would instantly begin eating the same food distribution as the general population of the prison. On the other hand, Brewer remained a detestable human being right up until the very end of his life. James Beard told KHOU 11 News the day before he was to be executed, despite the fact that his family had begged him to be spared, "I don't feel any guilt about anything, so there's that." Brewer was scheduled to be hanged the next day. Yes is the correct response if you are to be really forthright. We hope you enjoyed the video, but now that it's over, what did you think? Leave your comments down below, and don't forget to hit the like button. Also, click subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see more from us in the future. Thank you for taking the time to watch this.